Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome back. So guys, as part of the today's session, I want to show you how exactly we can achieve the parallel execution using a PyTest and its fixtures. Okay, so the various fixtures concepts that we have studied using that particular fixtures, we want to study this stuff. So here, if you remember guys, I think the fixtures code is somewhere here. See, basically, you can create a fixture, right? You can create a fixture that defines on a particular function and you can use that particular fixture, right? Create a fixture and a use a fixture. So now this fixture, we are gonna create it with a parameters and based on that particular parameter that should work. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is let me create a new code, the new Python file. I'm naming it as parallel execution 1. Okay, this is the first Python file that I'm creating. And now, from the app launch, whatever the imports are there, I just copied all those imports and I just placed it there. And now here, I wanna create my basic fixer. So copy this one and put it here. And I am naming it as before each fixer. So my fixer name is before each. Okay, this is what the before each. In that particular before each, what are we gonna do right now is, so here, the capabilities and the driver launch, this complete information. Copy it and put it inside a fixer for now. Okay, put it inside a fixer. And within the yield, what are you doing as part of this particular yield? Within the yield, you are gonna, okay, driver dot quit. I just wanna terminate this particular chunk. Perfectly all right. And then the next one is your test should work on that particular fixer. All right. So your test should work on that particular fixer. So copy this test logout, put it here, and here I'm naming it as this is working on only the before each function. That's it, guys. This is just working on that before each function app launched. So here guys, the only thing that we have done is we just have our one app and this function is relying on that particular fixture. This fixture has this particular Appium driver initialization. Let me run this program. What it's gonna does, it should launch that particular device. In that particular device, it will launch the app and it will wait for a few seconds and then it will terminate the app. That's it, guys, right? That's what the logic we have created. Now, we need to expand this logic in a way that it should work on two devices and it should this fixer should work on a parameters basically. That's the simple thing that you need to do. Whatever the fixer that you have in a direct piece of a code, I want to convert that particular fixer into a parameter chunk. Okay, that's the only thing I want to deal right now, the parameter chunk. Okay, perfectly all right. Let this execution got a complete so that I will modify that fixer into, okay, I will modify that particular fixer into a parameters. Okay, it's taking a while to launch the app. Okay, it's taking a while to launch the app. So ideally, whenever the new device is launched, it will take a few seconds to load that particular device. Okay, that's the issue. That's not a major problem. Okay, that's not a problem for us. So it took a while, and now the WebDriver agent is initialized, and in a minute the app got launched, and it will terminate the app after a few seconds. Fine. This is absolutely fine. Now, what I'm doing is this fixture, this fixture, I wanna convert or I wanna run on parameters. My first parameter is device 1 and my second parameter is device 2. Okay, this is what my first parameter and this is what my second parameter is. So which means this fixer is accepting two parameters, device 1 and a device 2. Now here, the complete dictionary and the driver creation, I'm cutting it up. I'm just cutting it up and I'm writing down this before is gonna work on a request. If the request dot param is equal to device 1, if that first parameter value is device 1, basically in such a cases, okay, in such a cases, create this particular instance with this app. Perfect. And on top of it, for suppose, okay, for suppose if my request dot param is equal to device 2, okay, is equal to device 2, then use this one. Perfect. So when it is a device 2, use the verb app and the device OS version is 18.2 and I want to get the UDID for the device, okay, for the another simulator. I'm launching my Xcodes and from that a particular Xcode devices and simulators. In the simulators, 18.1 is already there. So I was picking up the 18.2 UDID from here. Come back to your program, update the UDID value. That's it, guys. So this is the fixer. So I have modified it. So my first device should be working on iPhone 16 with an 18.1 OS. My second device is an 18.2 OS. That's it. Now let me run my PyTest this time. Okay, so the test execution, it looks like it got a failed here. Why it got a failed? I think I might have a missed something. I think I have a missed something. Import module, import a path. Import a path, something is issue. Where is that? Global driver. Okay, so I don't need this global driver. And again, I don't need this global driver too. And let me run this function now. I'm just trying to run this function. See, basically two tests. It's trying to run on the two devices. This is an iPhone 16 18.1. That's my first device. And my device 2, it's gonna be iPhone 16 Pro again, which is of an 18.2 OS version. So this is the second device which is of an 18.2 OS. In the second device, it should launch the Verve app. Okay. In the second device, it should launch this particular Verve app. So let us see how this is gonna launch it. Okay, of course. Anyways, as this is the new device, it will take some time to launch it. If I have given the UIKit catalog, the app was already there. It won't take this much of time, but this is a new device and this is the new app. It's taking some time to load it. So what we have done right now, we have just configured it in a way that in the fixers, you passed a parameters, two different parameters, and you are executing as per the parameters. That's it. And you are using that particular fixers concept. Now, to execute it in a parallel mode, okay, in order to execute it in a parallel mode, there is a one plugin that you need to add. So there is a one package that you need to add to your project. So ideally it will be executing. In the meantime, I'm trying to install that particular package here. And that particular package is PyTest XDIST. This is the package, and I'm installing this particular package, guys. Okay, and I'm installing this particular package. Okay, and upon installing this particular package, okay, this is done. And upon installing this particular package, the next thing that you need to do is you do have a pytest.ini files. Okay, you do have a pytest.ini file that we have created. See here, it launched the app and it terminated. The execution got completed on the two files basically, and the two tests, and we have created a pytest.ini file earlier. The only thing that we are gonna do here is I wanna run my program in a two threads. That's it. I just wanna run it in a two different threads. And now when I run my PyTest this time, if you observe, in a parallel mode, those two devices were launched, and in a parallel mode on both the devices, my script is getting executed. See, if you observe that both the devices, the app is being installed, and on both the devices, it will try to launch the app. Okay, so this is the way how exactly you can configure. Okay, you can configure in PyTest. Okay, but there is a small issue, guys. The issue here is our Appium server. So basically, for both the instances, you are using the same Appium server port. That may cause some issue. Ideally, it should establish a connection with one after another. It will be encountering an issue. In such a cases, what we need to do means for one device, establish a connection with a 4723 port, and with another device, establish a connection with a 4724 port, for which I'm terminating my Appium server. I was just terminating my Appium server, and now Appium hyphen P 4723. Okay, when I hit this particular one, so if you see, the Appium server is started on a 4723, and now Appium hyphen P 4724. And this time, if you observe, this server is started on a 4724 port. And if you see, two devices are going to work on a two different ports. And when I run this particular program now, it won't have any issues with respect to the server instances also. It will be executing the test script successfully on those devices. Okay, it will be executing the test script successfully on those devices. That's it. As simple as it is. Okay, perfectly all right. So this is the way how exactly you can create your program in a parallel mode. Okay, how exactly you can create your program in a parallel mode, guys. Okay, perfectly all right. See you again in the next session with the further more examples.